going to an arts high school and like having that deeper education where like care was really put into the curriculum. And our teachers, one particular teacher I had, Mr. Ball from Cawthra Park Secondary School, shout out to him. He really encouraged us to like look at contemporary artists and think about art in a way that I previously hadn't even imagined possible, like performance artists, installations, video, found objects, just like really expanding my understanding of what art could be. I got to experience kind of like a residency setting when I did my third year abroad in Florence, and that was pretty much, we had like free reign and we could like make whatever we wanted. Um, and then after graduating, I was just kind of like sick of making art and like needed to have some breathing room from it. And I felt like all my creative reserves had been used up, and I like didn't know if I could even make art anymore. So I feel like VAM was a good opportunity for me to like sit down and take like a dedicated amount of time and just like really focus on making art and get back into that environment that I had in university where you're like meeting other artists and learning from each other and collaborating and just talking to them. It arose from like being in really close quarters with my family again after being like so independent in university, then like learning to deal with and like live with my family again. And specifically, I wanted to illustrate the bonds that I share with my sister, which we've already been really close, but like especially downtown sharing a room and just how our relationship has evolved. Like how Kareem like mapped out how he knew each of us. And I just like think that's so interesting that, I mean, like Madeline and Brienne, we all went to OCAD at like around the same time, and I had never met or heard of any of them. And just to now be brought into it through the connection of like Mississauga was crazy. Practice is always ever evolving. Um, but I really enjoyed like getting the chance to curate through VAM. Like that was really exciting and something that I've always wondered about. And it seemed really like difficult to get into. Like you have to have a specific degree to get into like curating professionally. So it was just like a nice opportunity to get my foot in the door. So maybe I'd like to curate again, but I'm not too sure at this moment. Being, oh, I don't want to say it, like being in the situation that we're in obviously was one huge challenge. But again, like I took the residency as an opportunity to create new work, and like I had so many ideas and was really excited going into it, like writing down all these things that I wanted to achieve. I was like, oh, we get 6 months, I'll make like multiple works by the end of it. Obviously that didn't happen. And you know, from my application, what I proposed, it like is very different than the final product. And I think just it was, yeah, being in the situation that we're in, and unfortunately not having limited to like no access to the studio, and then my mental health contributed to what happened in the end. So that was like a challenge. I guess that seems really bleak and there's like no success in that, but I would say just like the success is getting to interact with like mentors and you and the other residents